So, the gear usage, the epidemic, right? And this is going to be my opinion, and a lot of people are going to agree with me, but I do think we have a terrible gear usage epidemic amongst young men, all right? And that is a little bit more of a problem because I think if we were to make a chart, right, from kids from like the 90s, right, who used to lift weights and a little bit back, that the gear usage would actually be a lot smaller than the variety of young men today who ruin their lives by using gear. Now, in today's video, I'm basically going to be talking to you about it and breaking down certain things if you are new to the gym and you do not understand what I'm talking about specifically, because a lot of people think, oh, gear, inject, and you get big. But that's not exactly how it works. I'll explain a little bit more of that. But to start off, I think we have a terrible, terrible epidemic amongst young men. And a lot of us young men are using steroids, right? We are abusing performance enhancing drugs. And it's so unfortunate because naturally, I mean, you might not be as big as your IFBB Pro, but I will say to you that doing this naturally feels a lot better than ruining your entire life over a little bit of gear, right? So here's the thing: as a young guy, as like an 18-year-old and a little bit above, I think it's important to know that when you do take gear, you are essentially going to lessen your lifespan, but not just that, you're also going to increase what your aging of your face looks like. And certain gear can cause you to have a really bloated face or make you look extremely bloated. What they don't understand is, I mean, there are 14-year-old kids who are absolutely abusing tren. That's why I said this is an epidemic, because this is actually getting pretty bad now. I mean, I've seen 14-year-old kids who are absolutely abusing steroids. Don't get me wrong, they look good, but is looking good for a young kid, right? A teenager who's basically almost just entered teens, looking jacked and stuff, like basically looking like an 18-year-old. That's not going to help in the long run. I mean, this is literally going to be, I mean, your life is going to be a walk in the park, right? Nah, your life isn't be a walk to the grave because you're basically already lessened your lifespan. It's that easy, right? It's as easy to get it and it's as easy to use it. And just like that, you've already lessened your lifespan. Is it so worth it? A lot of people would say yes, it is. And a lot of us would say no. It's obviously not a good idea to do it at such a young age. Now, this is my general opinion. Now, if you are a little bit above, right, you're like 30, maybe a little bit above, you've already had kids, your testosterone's already, it's decreasing. So I think around this kind of situation, if you felt like, okay, I think I'm gonna do it, right, but you've already been in the gym for long enough, you already know this is what's going to happen, right? And then I think using gear might be a better option around that time. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm telling you to go and use gear. You do not need to use gear. You can build everything naturally, and it looks absolutely amazing. Build the best of your physique and what your abilities are and what your genetics may be. So, like, you don't need to use gear, right? Now, you can literally just sit there and build, right? That obviously means that you're gonna have to eat and stuff like that, but regardless, I'm sure you're already doing that. The point is, amongst young men, they have decided, yeah, we're going to look like IFBB pros by the age of 18 and we're 16. It should not be this way at all. There should be this limit to where we allow this kind of stuff in, because look, we have gym inflation, and unfortunately, being natural in this kind of generation is a little bit of a sad one to hit, to be honest, because you'd be clowned in comment sections, people would make fun of you. I mean, just in general, and no matter how long you've been in it for, because you don't look like you're an IFBB pro or you don't look like David Late when you were 16, you get absolutely clowned in the comment sections about how you look. And so I think that's why you should have this kind of set confidence for yourself and boundaries for yourself, because there will be people like that, and you shouldn't be afraid to obviously post your physique, right? But you shouldn't also compare yourself. Like, keep in mind, if you're a brand new person, you shouldn't be comparing yourself to me, right? If you just started the gym, you should not be comparing yourself to me, or you should not be comparing yourself to Sam, or to Greg, or to Mike Israel. The point is, you shouldn't be comparing, and that's another problem, right? Body dysmorphia in the gym, body dysmorphia is also a thing, right? And a lot of people, they are a little bit hectic when it comes to body dysmorphia. It's like immediate, they don't think they look good, and this happens a lot for the newest people in the gym. You get body dysmorphia, right? You've got this feeling of, I'm not building enough, I'm not getting big enough. You won't, as a natural. But then what happens is they tend to go to gear, right? And yes, you could essentially build what I would build in the next 4 years in like 6 months. Yes, that's what gear does. But then that also lessens your lifespan. That also ruins your new testosterone, right? As a teenager, that will ruin everything about you, your facial features. It'll age you. It will make you look bloated. These things come with it, and not those are just the tip of the iceberg right now. There is more to go down, right? That is your health. That is your overall aggression levels towards people. You're basically a girl at this point, right? Because your estrogenic levels have already spiked, right? And your test has already fallen. You're basically a full-on woman. You're basically trans, right? So that's a problem. A lot of people now, some of you out there do not give a you guys do not care. So okay, you couldn't care, but this is for the people who have been thinking about it and obviously would like to understand a few things about this, and hopefully I can help you through this and let you understand exactly what's going to happen to you. And then for the people who want to learn and actually still want to do it after this video, okay, then I've given you some intel on this, because again, like, when you go to the gym, obviously you see this guy, he's jacked as hell. Like, you're like, how do I get like that? He's got 20-inch biceps, he's got a chest that is basically, Arnold, he's got traps look insane, his lats are insane. You're like, I want to be like that guy. How about you be like you, bro? You can be like you and build what you got, right? Because you won't be that guy, but you can only build what you got. So don't let body dysmorphia get to you. And that's why I'm also bringing it up into this video, because it's also the number one case, the absolute number one case for steroid abuse. Like, here, when it comes to body dysmorphia, is like, it's so huge. I mean, when I first started, I was having this big amount of body dysmorphia, and all I could think about was trend. But I realized through my years of hard work that it's actually a lot more worth it to stay natural for a while. And obviously, I do have dreams of competing, alright? I would first like to compete in naturals and win a bunch of the natural sections before that continues, but that's for a video for another day. We need to help each other. This gym community used to be helpful towards people. We used to be cool with each other. We would help everybody that we could. We were so supportive. And it was roughly around, I think, 2023. That's when I started. That I started noticing the toxicity amongst the people, because it started to spike and grow, and people were just being toxic, and all I could see was steroid abuse. It made me feel, I'm not gonna lie, it made me feel discouraged, because I'm looking at people with years and years of hard work, or people who just said, yeah, I don't want years and years of hard work, I want 2 months. And so they did that. Made that under 2 months. And here I am. I'm going for 2 years, and and during that time, I was like maybe 5 months in, 6 months in, and I was pushing so hard. I wanted to be jacked. Now I had this false perception, and I had to kind of get out of that because I was like, yo, if I stay in this long enough, soon I'll look like Sam Sulek. Soon I will look like these IFBB pros. You won't. You're natural. And that sucked to hear. I remember hearing those words, I was like, man, what's the point? The point is the journey. Steroids is not, it's not something you want to do. Alright? It's not good in the long run. And so what I'm trying to get at is basically the journey is the best part about this, because as you watch yourself grow as a person, things about you change, right? Now, you are obviously building muscle, but you're not just building muscle, but you're building a heart, and you're building a mindset. All right, that moment you wake up every morning, you've built that mindset, right? The discipline, and it just keeps going, keeps building, and you watch this happen. People around you, they watch this happen too, and they're like, well, you're not just building this, but you're actually building this and this, right? And you might even face yourself with completely different challenges that you know they feel a lot easier now because you were literally disciplined enough to do it. Steroids won't get you that, right? Steroids can give you confidence, can give you ego, but in the long run, it's not worth it. Not for your health. Don't risk it, man.